Tzu Chi volunteers head to each of the affected farmers' households to understand the seed planting process. Both U.S. and Taiwan Tzu Chi volunteers accompany Morelos school reconstruction team on various visits. Welcome to DaAi Headlines. I'm Lori Chen. Thank you for joining us. In Myanmar, the heavy rains in both July and August have flooded many paddy fields in Yangon. Recently, Tzu Chi have distributed mung bean seeds to help the affected farmers. In addition, the volunteers have visited the farmers to further understand how they are planting the seeds. Among the volunteers this time, there were 4 farmers who had previously received help from Tzu Chi.
In July and August, the heavy rains in Myanmar have flooded many paddy fields. Fortunately, Tzu Chi has distributed mung bean seeds to help the affected farmers. Tzu Chi volunteers continue to care for the affected farmers to understand how they're planting the distributed seeds.
When we were helpless, the mung bean seed distribution has helped lessen our burdens. Without it, we would have to rely on loans.
The farmers can plant mung bean seeds in time, then they no longer need to take out loans.
In the aftermath of the 2008 cyclone Nargis, one farmer who received rice seeds from Tzu Chi now has his own rice mill. He's even able to help pave roads in the village.
In the past, I could only harvest 300 baskets of rice. After receiving Tzu Chi's rice seeds, my harvest increased to 600 baskets. It is because I received the blessings from Dharma Master Zheng Yan, which motivated me to work even harder.
This time, 4 volunteers who are conducting home visits of farmers have received help from Tzu Chi before as well.
We will plant the mung bean seeds well and work harder. In the future, we will also help others in need.
The farmers who have received mung bean seeds are working hard and cultivating their blessings at the same time.
Many senior recycling volunteers participated in the Year in Blessing ceremony at the Sanchong Jingsi Hall. Dharma Master Zheng Yan stated how grateful she was to the elderly volunteers and encouraged them about the idea of putting 50 years of cultivated wisdom into the age treasury.
All I want is to come to volunteer every day. I don't desire much, just to be able to walk here and volunteer every day.
90-year-old Xu Qiuyin is an outstanding volunteer at the Xinguang Recycling Station in Shiling District.
We're thankful for Dharma Master Zheng Yan's wisdom to open the recycling station, so we seniors can have somewhere to dedicate our effort after retirement.
All of us senior volunteers are like brothers and sisters. We're very close to each other, and we take care of each other too.
The recycling station has a production line like a factory. PET bottles can be turned into blankets for international disaster relief after recycling. All these volunteers are hidden heroes. Every recycling volunteer plays an important role in a charity mission. With everyone's effort, we can all save Mother Earth together.
Staying at the Sanchong Jingsi Hall, a Tzu Chi volunteer, Xu Shouyan, officially became a certified Tzu Chi commissioner. After actively participating in sign language activities, she started to develop an inner calmness. This in turn helped improve her relationships with her family members. Her hands were injured, and that's why she couldn't eat by herself. I had to feed her, and sometimes she won't eat. She will also keep on complaining at the same time.
Excessive stress at work and having to take care of her mother-in-law, who suffers from dementia, Xu Shouyan said there were some days she didn't want to continue.
I often work overtime. After coming back home, I had to help my mother-in-law take a shower. I also needed to do house chores. Usually, I went to bed around 1 or 2 in the morning and have to get up at 7 o'clock. Every day, I could hear her complaining. It's very painful for me to hear the criticism.
After becoming a certified, she has to learn the sign language to understand the 12 links of cyclic existence given by Dharma Master Zhen Yan. This coincides with her relationship with her mother-in-law.
The pain comes from the previous lifetime. This will remind people not to do bad things in this lifetime. When you know this is not the correct way to do it, don't do it. If you keep repeating it, wouldn't you still suffer the pain in your next lifetime?
This eventually broke the ice in their relationship. Now she helps her mother-in-law take a shower and is tired physically but not mentally. After taking a shower, a smile showed up on her face.
Another outstanding certified volunteer from Gambia attended the year-end passing ceremony at the Xindianjingsi Hall. He met Tzu Chi volunteers when he first came to Taiwan to study and learned that the foundation helps all people from all walks of life worldwide. He has vowed to be the first local Gambia volunteer.
Ebrima's dark skin and tall stature made him easy to identify in the group. He has come to Taiwan from Gambia for 10 years and his Mandarin is fluent.
My personality and attitude have changed a lot because many volunteers' outstanding contributions moved me. I should follow their examples.
The first time Ebrima noticed Tzu Chi is when he saw volunteers conducting disaster relief after Typhoon Morakat in 2009. Coincidentally, the student he tutored was the son of a Tzu Chi volunteer, which led him to learn about Tzu Chi more closely. He has completed his volunteer training in recent years.
I want to help those in need with Tzu Chi or participate in doing recycling. Being certified made me understand Tzu Chi better because I want to cultivate blessings back home in Gambia in the future. I want to be the first seed of Tzu Chi in Gambia.
Great love transcends boundaries and ethnicities. Ebrima is determined to spread the love and kindness he felt in Taiwan to Western African areas.
Wu Junye is one of this year's New Shoot Scholarship recipients. He's currently in his 3rd year of study at the National Yueling University of Science and Technology. Despite his difficult upbringing, he is a very devoted and filial child.
As long as he misses his mother, Junye will drop anything to go and accompany her. His mother passed away nearly 2 years ago, and the sadness in his heart has not disappeared with the passage of time.
When I was a child, I relied on her. I only had her. I didn't have a father.
His parents separated when he was young, and at age 3, Junye began to live with his mother at his grandparents' house. In order to support him, she did manual labor to earn money. A few years ago, she was diagnosed with cervical cancer, which soon spread as her condition quickly deteriorated.
He carried his mother to the toilet and also to the shower. Life was never easy for this child.
While taking on the burden of caring for his mother, he also had to study far from home, going between Yunlin and Zhanghua every day.
When I'm thinking of my daughter passing away so early, I felt really sad.
At that time, when she was in the hospice, I told her that I would take care of myself. She knows that I'm going to start school. She chose to go a few days before I started school, just to let me go to school.
Before the mother left, Junye made a promise to her, saying that he would take care of himself. He became a tutor to earn spending money and even became an intern at an accounting firm opened by a Tzu Chi volunteer.
He is a more responsible young person. When you give him a job, he will do it with all his heart.
As long as he has a holiday, he goes home to accompany his grandparents.
He will always help me with household chores. He says, "Grandma, just tell me what to do."
Worried that his grandparents are getting old and infirm, he rushes to help them with their chores.
I really hope that they can do their best to take care of their health.
Not giving in to his difficult fate, Junye continues to be filial and sensible. He hopes to obtain an accounting license and have the financial ability to take care of his grandparents.
There is a special class at the Sintakasi Tzu Chi called the Vegetarian Lifestyle. In class, volunteers will explain the benefits of adopting a vegetarian diet and its impact on the environment. There's also a cooking contest that was held. Through the cooking process, students can learn about the many nutrients that are inside the various vegetables.
Tzu Chi volunteers visited the Sikola Sintakasi Tzu Chi to teach the idea of vegetarianism and how it can help reduce our carbon footprints. This class is called the Vegetarian Lifestyle.
I think the concept of the class, the vegetarian lifestyle, is very meaningful. We can save the earth by eating vegetables. This is why I want to give it a try 3 days per week now.
To let students have a better understanding of vegetarianism, the school held a vegetarian cooking contest.
The approach of the contest was about how to cook a vegetarian meal through the ingredients that we prepared. We hope we can inspire students to eat more vegetables and also let them show off their creativity in cooking.
This is my first time cooking. I was very nervous and scared to fail because I made some mistakes. But now I know if we put our heart and efforts into it, we can successfully finish what we started.
Each group presented their creativity by preparing a variety of vegetarian dishes. The teachers also didn't forget to remind students the importance of nutrition, focusing on building up a healthy eating habit.
Staying in Indonesia, Tzu Chi volunteers went to Batam, where the majority of households are farmers. They distributed a total of 557 boxes of DaAi instant noodles to a typical remote Indonesian village. One A recipient, Line, donated the little that she had in order to help the Lombok earthquake survivors. Tanjungai is a typical Indonesian village. Most of the residents live in houses built of bamboo and wood. They have an inconsistent working schedule, resulting in high poverty rates.
We saw that the residents here have very unstable work. Sometimes they are picking coconuts, another time helping people wash clothes. They are struggling financially day by day. That's why we decided to, after further assessment, to care for them.
The Tzu Chi volunteers went door to door to care for each of the households. They issued notices inviting everyone to come and collect a box of DaAi instant noodles. They seized this opportunity to learn more about the impoverished families' current situations, such as the case of Line, who has to take care of 3 physically challenged cousins.
I was blessed with a healthy body, so I rarely get sick. To me, this is already more than enough. This way, I'm able to take good care of them.
A total of 557 households received help this time. Aware of how Lombok affected residents are in the recovery process, many gave the little that they had to help out.
We're very lucky there were not earthquake-affected residents, and we can still get the help from volunteers.
With a grateful heart, they no longer feel trapped when facing the many dilemmas in life. In September of last year, a strong earthquake in Mexico destroyed many schools. In Jojutla, Mexico, the Instituto Morelos, which was founded 75 years ago, was seriously damaged in the disaster. The principal took the initiative to ask for help from Tzu Chi. Today, accompanied by Tzu Chi volunteers, the sisters and the lead architect headed to Hualien to visit one of the schools of the Tzu Chi's Project Hope of disaster risk reduction. In September 2017, a massive 7.1 magnitude earthquake hit Mexico. It was a total devastation. It also took away children's hope in getting an education. In one of the hardest hit areas, Huhutila used to house the 75-year-old Instituto Morelos. After the disaster, the school's principal had asked Tzu Chi's assistance in collaboration in the reconstruction process. It's been 1 year later, both the principal and the lead architect of the reconstruction project came to Hualien, Taiwan. In addition, they paid a visit to one of Tzu Chi's Project Hope of disaster risk reduction schools. They were particularly impressed by the Hualien Mingyi Primary School's dance, music, and art classes.
I saw my school, I saw my country, I saw the next generation. Each and every child should have the opportunity to receive a proper education. This also goes in line with the mission of the school's founder. When the school was first built, its goal was to provide a diversified educational experience for the children.
The lead architect is very well known back in the community. He has volunteered to provide his services free of charge in helping rebuild the Instituto Morelos. He stated that it's truly a blessing to be able to use his expertise in helping give the next generation a chance at obtaining an education.
I'm very impressed about the overall structure of this building. It's filled with preventative measures and stability. The hallway drainage design is both creative and practical. When I head back home, if there are future spaces like this one, I would definitely pay special attention to this type of drainage design.
When it comes to disaster reduction, it first requires disaster prevention measures. Safety is always first. On this visit, all the main parties involved saw just how solid the school buildings and multi-purpose classrooms were. They are looking forward to rebuilding a stable learning environment for the teachers and students back in Morelos. In China, Wuxi Tzu Chi volunteers went to Lianyuanjie Primary School to promote environmental protection. The fourth graders collaborated with the local Tzu Chi recycling station to set up a PET water cube and put up flyers to raise the public's awareness on this important topic.
The students from Lianyuanjie Primary School collaborated with Tzu Chi volunteers. At school, they set out a PET water cube art installation, which was made from recycled water bottles.
These water bottles came from the students. I asked them to recycle the bottles after they drank the water inside. Then we used them to make the PET water cube. This way they can understand the importance of water resources.
Mother Nature was the theme of the art installation. For the fourth grade students, their main focus is the water resource. Besides promoting environmental concepts in school, students also go to recycling station to learn more about recycling.
For humans, access to drinkable water is very limited. This is why we need to save up water. While washing our hands and faces, don't let the water keep on running. It needs to go with low flow.
At another primary school in Wuxi, a seminar was held to teach students how to make enzyme from food waste. The parents were also invited.
Through the seminar, students learned how to transform food waste into useful products. They can go back home and do it with their parents. As students and parents do recycling together, it can educate the children the importance of protecting the Mother Earth.
Tzu Chi volunteers use pictures to demonstrate the procedures of making enzyme, and it's very simple. They hope to bring environmental concepts from school to families.
In order to achieve the Green City status, Tzu Chi volunteers in Sichuan collaborate with the government of Chengdu to promote recycling. It all started on this year's Earth Day, bringing people from communities, schools, and corporations to do recycling together.
Huaizhou is one of the old towns of Chengdu. The local government worked with Sichuan Tzu Chi volunteers on encouraging the local residents to practice environmental protection concepts. Public members were doing recycling together and learning about the concepts of environmental protection. We can also find volunteers' footprints at the traditional market and the public facilities, as they were promoting the green campaign.
I want to do recycling with the other children to protect Mother Earth.
I saw these two children doing sign language with us. They were willing to join us to promote environmental protection concepts. This is why I brought them here.
Under volunteers' guidance, many seniors not only came to help promote the green campaign, but also they actively participated in the recycling work.
It felt good to contribute something to the environment. To participate in this activity is better than staying at home and do nothing. For me, this work is much more meaningful.
Through volunteers' efforts, the environmental protection awareness spread quickly in the communities. It's one step closer to build up a beautiful green town in Huaizhou.
In order to cultivate well-rounded doctors, the Tzu Chi Medical Mission has invited Tzu Chi volunteers from all over Taiwan to act as standardized patients. This greatly helps the teachers to better simulate actual medical situations with the fellow medical students. Recently in Wanhua Jingsi Hall, the theme was understanding and reconciliation in medical treatments.
我们需要肢体，我们需要情绪，我们需要即兴。
In order to cultivate well-rounded doctors, the Tzu Chi Medical Mission launched a standardized patient medical center back in 2008. They invited Tzu Chi volunteers from all over the country to serve as teachers. Each year, they will hold 4 intensive courses.
There are
many conflicts when it comes to medical treatments. It's not always about medical errors or negligence, but it's mostly due to poor communication between the parties. Through reenactment of medical situations, the medical school students are able to learn firsthand how to effectively communicate within various circumstances.
Every doctor was once a medical student at some point, so it's very important to simulate real-life standardized patient medical situations for the up-and-coming young doctors. It greatly improves their motivation and self-confidence when it comes to dealing with medical issues.
Must avoid medical disputes. So how do we maintain a good balance? A better doctor-patient relationship? These are our duties. So it's crucial that we continue to improve ourselves in continuous educational courses like these.
Usually when a patient is sick, they do not have a lot of patience or a good mood. They are ill, full of worries, and might be bitter about life. So it's a must to relate what you are feeling inside and what your facial expressions represent to the doctors.
Tzu Chi volunteers have entered the medical system as standardized patients, which has greatly improved both the quality and clinical experiences of medical students. It has also made Tzu Chi's humanitarian-based medical treatment more effective. In Taiwan, Tzu Chi volunteers regularly visit澎湖senior citizens' home. This month, they've also invited Tzu Chings and some children to come along with. Seeing these old friends, the seniors were so delighted that one of them even sang a Japanese song for the volunteers.
Seeing these old friends, 92-year-old Grandma Gao happily sings a Japanese song. Tzu Chi volunteers regularly visit澎湖senior citizens' home, and in November they've invited Tzu Chings and children to come along as well.
We established our parent and child class this year. I thought that we should bring the students here so they can learn to carry out charity missions and practice showing their compassion. I think these grandpas and grandmas will feel especially good seeing these children. They also enjoy interacting with them.
The community dance class also came to entertain the seniors.
Seeing how they are so happy, we also feel joyful.
To encourage the senior citizens to exercise their limbs, the volunteers also invited them to sing and toss balloons around, creating a warm and joyful atmosphere.
DaAi Television had the honor of being recognized by the 2018 Excellent Journalism Award this month. It was for the international special in-depth series report, The Clothes Journey, where a team of reporters traveled to China, Bangladesh, and Kenya to discuss the cost and behind-the-scenes consequences of buying a piece of clothing. Congratulations! Thank you for joining us in this celebratory moment for DaAi TV. See you next time.